Have you ever owned an Xbox before? Maybe you didn't own one, but you definitely played one of their classic titles, right? Gears of War, Halo, Viva Pinata. Oh, okay, maybe you didn't play one of them, but you've definitely at least heard of them, right? Whatever it is, you probably have some sort of memory around these titles. Okay, maybe you just want to check them out for the first time. Well, today I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why it might be worth revisiting them and purchasing an Xbox Series X or S in 2024. If you've watched my other videos, you might have seen that I had a video about deciding which console I should sell, my PlayStation or my Xbox. And I ultimately decided I should try and sell my Xbox. Well, let me tell you, I tried selling it and it didn't work. I even tried selling the PlayStation and I also could not sell it. I was having a hard time trying to sell both of them. And it wasn't because I wasn't trying to sell them, I was. It was that nobody was buying them. I honestly think it's due to the fact that these consoles are so affordable. The Xbox Series consoles came out in November of 2022. Think about that. Wait, did I say 2022? The Xbox Series consoles came out in November of 2020. They'll be 4 years old come this November. That's kind of nuts. I remember when these things were coming out and they were sold out everywhere. You couldn't find an Xbox anywhere. But you also couldn't find a PS5, a Nintendo Switch, or even PC parts during the pandemic. It was pretty rough. But not only did Xbox bring 2 tiers to the market in 2020, they brought the Series S, which was the more affordable option. It was smaller, less storage, less powerful, but it was also like $250 after tax cheaper than the Series X, at least in the US. And I would say some would even argue you're not really missing out on much if you do buy the Series S versus the Series X. However, if you are someone who likes the latest and greatest tech, the best visual fidelity there is on consoles, you're probably going to want to go with the Series X. But if you go to a big box store, you're probably going to be able to find it for like $350, $400, $450. Like I mentioned, Xbox is trying to meet you where you're at because they want you to buy Game Pass, which kind of gets into my next topic, Xbox Game Pass. Pretty much everyone knows that Xbox Game Pass is one of the best deals in all of video games. Tons of titles and hours to be played on this service, and new titles being brought to it each and every month. The thing about Game Pass is that at $17, it gives you access to Xbox and PC games with their ultimate tier, which comes out to be about $200-ish per year if you buy it every single month. And if you think about that, a new game at $70 is going to be what, 3 games versus a whole year of Game Pass? Game Pass is starting to look a little bit more desirable when you say that out loud. For just the cost of 3 brand new games, you get access to hundreds and hundreds of titles. Sure, they're not going to all be your cup of tea, but the majority of them I would say you're probably going to be able to play or at least get some sort of enjoyment out of them. Some of them even being day and date titles. I'd say that's a pretty good deal, especially if you watch the latest Xbox showcase. There's going to be so many games coming out in 2024, 2025 that are coming day and date to Game Pass. You're not going to have to worry about what you're playing this year or even next year, because they're all going to be on Game Pass basically. Multiple entry points. Like I mentioned before, Xbox started this console generation by going into the market with 2 different consoles, the Series X and the Series S. However, they're introducing more options for people this year too. They're introducing the new white discless Xbox Series X, $450, the 2TB Series X for like $600, and I think also the 2TB Series S for $350. And these are just going to go alongside their currently released consoles, I believe. I mean, I've even seen the Series S go for as low as $200. That's an insane deal. That's like buying a Nintendo Switch Lite, you know, the smaller non-dockable option, but you get a Series S for the same price as one of those. It's actually kind of a steal if you really think about it. Not a bad option if you're browsing on a budget. I've even thought about getting rid of my PC and just going fully into like one of the consoles and just using that. There's so many great games on them that do you really need every single device there is? And the answer is no. Next thing I want to bring up is backwards compatibility. When these consoles first released, Microsoft was making an effort to update older titles from the Xbox One and I think 360 generation, bringing some of these older titles from 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second, which is basically a feature that is now standard in this console generation and has been a feature that has been pretty much standard in PC generations for as long as I can remember. This was a huge update if you missed any games from the Xbox One generation. Like I was just looking at one of them recently. It was the Mad Max game, 30 frames per second on Xbox One. But when they did the FPS boosts, now you can play it at 60 frames or even 120, I think. That's pretty insane. And it just goes to show that these older titles are also getting kind of a resurgence with the FPS boost. Basically, it's a win-win for the consumer. This did come to an end recently, but I'll go ahead and link it to the description below because I do think it's important for people to see. Xbox Play Anywhere. Xbox Play Anywhere is one of the coolest features if you own multiple devices. And when I say multiple devices, I even mean cloud gaming, so your phone. Basically, you take Xbox Game Pass with you everywhere you go. There's even some cool attachments that you can use to game on the go, like the backbone attachment for iPhone and Android. Just go ahead and clip on this kind of controller attachment. But some other things that can take advantage of this cloud streaming is Steam Deck. I made a whole video on this before. I'll go ahead and link that one below as well. But also the Asus ROG Ally. I've never played one myself, but I've heard great things. You can even stream from your MacBook using xCloud, or if you have like a PC laptop as well. And obviously you can play these games from your PC on Xbox Play Anywhere. It's kind of like the default mode for it, but the PC can take advantage of that as well. I was doing this with Hellblade 2, going ahead and playing a few hours on my PC. When I got tired, I went ahead and switched over to my Xbox, and I just started exactly where I left off. It was fantastic. And one bonus feature I kind of just wanted to throw out there was dual entitlement. Dual entitlement is one of the features that Xbox seems to be marketing more and more lately, and I kind of hope they keep improving upon this because it's really interesting. Basically, it gives the consumer access to an Xbox version of the game, but also a PC version of the game. So for example, I bought Guardians of the Galaxy a few years ago, and I had it on my Xbox. That's where I played it, whatever. But I went to my PC one day and I saw Guardians of the Galaxy in my PC library, and I was like, I didn't buy it. That's kind of strange. Is it just the Xbox version? Like, why is it here? And then I saw Cuphead there, and I bought Cuphead on my Xbox as well. I realized that Xbox gave me both copies of the game, the PC and the Xbox version. I thought, how cool is that? This is a feature that I hope to see added across the board. But honestly, I really just don't see that happening with just how segmented gaming is overall. But I'm happy to see at least someone's doing this. So should you buy an Xbox in 2024? I can't really answer that for you. I can just give you some reasons why I think the Xbox is a great console, and you're gonna have to go ahead and make the decision for yourself. Do I think the Xbox has some great benefits that everyone can take advantage of? Yes. I think Xbox has so many games that everyone can enjoy, and especially games that you might not even be a fan of the genre yet. Games you typically wouldn't play, but you said, hey, it's on Game Pass, I'm gonna go ahead and try it out, and you end up spending 25 hours on it. And that's one of the reasons why I think the service is worth trying out. But buying a whole new console is something you're gonna have to sit with and think about for yourself. But let me know in the comments below some of the reasons why you've thought about buying an Xbox, maybe why you did buy an Xbox. Let me know if any of the reasons I gave you helps you make a decision on buying an Xbox or not. Maybe it swayed you away from it. Anyways, I'll catch you next time. Peace.